الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. I very much appreciate your attendance this unique, very rare, unusual class of mejelle أحكام عدلية Code of Ottoman Code of Civil Code of Ottoman. We are at the article 479. Yes. Bir kimse bir dükkan isticar ve kabz etmiş iken bir müddet ehzu i'taya kesat arız olmakla sanat işlenmedi ve dükkan kapalı kaldı. Deyu o müddetin kirasını i'tadan imtina edemez. Let us go over some of the words. You already know isticar. Isticar. Ecere, acere, icar, icare, all from same root. Okay? Renting for yourself or hiring for yourself, isticar, mustajir. Then the other word, qabl. You already know this word. Qabl. Qabl. This is like getting, holding, getting the physically thing you bought or you got. Okay. Then أخذ إعطاء. أخذ, you know this word أخذ. أخذ. أخذ. أخذ, to take. أخذ, to take. أخذ. إعطاء. إعطاء. إعطاء from عطاء. عطى or عطية عطاء. To give, عطية, to give. كساد عارض المغلى. كساد. I will write these two words, كساد. كساد here. كسد. كساد. This is mentioned in Quran. كسادة كسابة كسادا في الأرض. Okay, so so where قل إن كان آباؤكم وأبناؤكم وإخوانكم وأزواجكم وعشيرتكم سورة التوبة وعشيرتكم وأزواجكم قل إن كان آباؤكم وأبناؤكم وأزواجكم وإخوانكم وأزواجكم وعشيرتكم وأموال اقترفتموها وتجارة تخشون كسادها. كساد. This is Surah At-Tawbah. Kasad. Kasad means like losing value, like no more on having economic value in the market, like old coins taken away from circulation, coins or any paper used before. Kasad. So kasad means like economically not usable, economically no value, the kasad. Okay? Arid. Arid. Let me write squeeze here. Arid. Arada. This is عارض. عارض. عارض. عرض. عارض. Happening, coming, happening to. It was not like that before, came to happen. عارض. عرض. عرض. عارض. So, there is one more word. I will write here, sanat. Sanat. Sana. Sana, to make, to create, or to do something with hand, craft, somebody with hands doing something, for example, shoemaker, painter. Some of them do artistically, some of them just like carpenter. They are all zanatkar, sanatkar. Actually, sana, sanatun, this term, sanatun, something like professionally, craftily done by hand thing. Okay. Now, I will read the article once more. 479. Bir kimse bir dükkan isticar ve kabz etmiş iken bir müddet ahzu irtaya kesat ariz olmakla sanat işlenmedi ve dükkan kapalı kaldı. Deyu o müddetin kirasını irtadan imtina edemez. So, a little broken translation. Anyone who does istijar, rents for himself, a dükkan, shop, in the mall, somewhere, okay, in the market. If someone rents for himself a shop and gets qabz, takes that dükkan for himself, okay, after doing that, renting and isticar and qabz, bir müddet ahzu irtaya kesat ariz olmakla If he says, for certain time, for sometimes, أخذ إعطاء, getting and giving, supply and demand, demand and supply. كساد عارض والمقلة. There was a kasad. Kasad. Not happening. No economically happening. Giving, getting and giving is not happening. I mean, market, people are not buying, nothing is working. So, sanat işlenmedi ve dükkan kapalı kaldı. If he says like that and says that his profession, sanat, he was tailor, he was shoemaker, sanat işlenmedi. No work, no artist professional things worked. Work was not there. And dükkan was closed. Did not work. If he says like that, after istijar, after qabz. So question, is he still supposed to pay the rent? Question, okay? Deyu ol müddetin kirasını i'tadan imtina edemez. He cannot abstain from giving kira money, rent, of that time for that dükkan. He cannot. He needs to pay for that. Let me read once more. Bir kimse bir dükkan isticar ve kabz etmiş iken bir müddet ehzu i'taya kesad ariz olmakla sanat işlenmedi ve dükkan kapalı kaldı. Deyu ol müddetin kirasını i'tadan imtina edemez. Yes, young girls, you send me all to my email, these pictures, so I will keep them. I will brag. I will tell everybody, whole world, that I am such a guy. Nobody cares about me. Only a few girls and a few brothers. So I will tell them, okay? I have email, you send me to my email. Yes. Let us go to the English. 479. A person, by alleging that after he had rented and taken possession of a shop, there was a time when it was impossible to do business, by reason of the occurrence of a stagnation in the business for selling and buying, and that the shop remained closed, cannot refuse to pay the rent for that time. Okay, I will read English once more. 479. Mejelle. A person, by alleging that after he had rented and taken possession of a shop, there was a time when it was impossible to do business, by reason of the occurrence of a stagnation in the business for selling and buying, and that the shop remained closed, cannot refuse, that person cannot refuse to pay the rent for that time. Okay, let me just erase. We don't have enough space. Four 480. Okay. Müddet üzerine bir kayık isticar olunup da esnai rahda müddet munqadi olsa sahile yanaşınca dek icare mümted olur ve müstecir fazla olan müddetin ecri mislini verir. Interesting. Okay. There is Turkish word, but I don't want to bother with you. Only munqadi. Munqadi, the word munqadi. Munqadi. Munqadi. Munqadi. اسم الفاعل انقضى then قضي to fulfill, to make up, to execute. فإذا قضيتم الصلاة فاذكروا الله. انقضاء, finishing, doing something, finishing, having finished that thing, munqadi. It has been executed by itself. Babul infial. Okay. I'm reading once more. Müddet üzerine bir kayık isticar olunup da esnai rahda müddet munqadi olsa sahile yanaşıncaya dek icare mümted olur ve müstecir fazla olan müddetin ecri mislini verir. Another word, mumted. Arabic words. Mumted. From imtadda, from madda, which is madada. Madada. Mumtad. Madda, to stretch, prolong. Imtadda, to be stretched by itself, by the force coming from outside. Mumtaddun ismul fa'il, something which is stretched to. Present participle ismul fa'il. Okay. Article 480. Müddet üzerine, broken translation, based on span of time, certain time, bir kayık isticar olunup da, a boat, is rented for certain time in lake, in sea. A boat, somebody is renting boat to go away for fishing, for something, away from the shore for certain time, 1 hour, 2 hours. Esnai rahta muddet munqazi olsa. On the way, they are coming back or going on the way, time expired. 1 hour expired. Executed, finished. So a boat rented for certain hours, certain time, that time on the way, going, coming, that time expires. Sahila yanaşıncaya dek icare mumted olur. These icare will be extended automatically until they reach to the shore. Time expired, but their commitment, their agreement is stretched to the remaining time until they reach to the shore. Ve müstecir, the one person who rented, fazla olan müddetin ecri mislini verir. He is to pay. He is going to pay for the extra time ecr misl. Interesting. Ecr misl. Ecr misl, average market level acceptable rent, money, ecr misl. These he will not pay per ratio for what he agreed, but I think I will read once more to make sure it is recorded. This is Article 480. Müddet üzerine bir kayık isticar olunup da esna-i rahda müddet munqazi olsa sahile yanaşıncaya dek icare mümted olur ve müstecir fazla olan müddetin ecri mislini verir. Briefly, any boat rented for a certain time, on the way, going and coming, that certain time expires, that contract is extended automatically to the period, to the time boat reaches to the shore, and the renter gives ecr misl for this extra time. Ecr misl, average pay, average rental amount for the market, in the market. That is what is meant. Now, English part of this article. 480. When a boat is hired for a time, is rented for a time, if the time expires during the voyage, a rent continues payable until she approaches the seashore. The hirer, must be the renter, pays an equivalent rent for the time which is in excess. Equivalent in the market, as means not pro ratio. I will read once more. When a boat is hired for a time, if the time expires during the voyage, a rent continues payable until she approaches the seashore. The hirer pays an equivalent rent for the time which is in excess. Okay. 8481. Let me erase these words. Okay, it dried up. It's okay, inshallah. So, bir kimesine, I think it is there, over there on the board. They must have, yes. Thank you. 481. Bir kimesine, bir kimse hanesini diğer kimseye meremmet etmek ve bila ücret sakin olmak üzere verse ve o dahi kendi tarafından meremmet ederek bir müddet sakin olsa, ariyet kabilinden olmakla mesarifi tamiriyeye kimesneye ait olur. Mesarifi tamiriye kimesneye ait olur. Ve sahibi hane dahi andan müddet için ücret namına bir şey alamaz. Okay. Okay. Meremmet. Remme. Rememe. Repair. Meremmetun. İsmi mekan. Mermemetun, meremmetun. Okay. Sakin. Sakin. Sekene. Sukun. Settling. Settling. Sekene. Settled. Lives over there. Mesken. Another word is ariyat. Ariyat, this ta turns to this ta. Ariyat. Borrowed to use. We are studying ariyat after Fajr nowadays, comparative fiqh in mihrab. Ariyat, you give your horse to someone, not for money, without money, he will use that horse. Ride, go, come, ariyat. Borrowing something to use with no money, no contract of ijar, istijar, renting, hiring. There is another word, vedi'ah. You give something to someone just to keep. Your horse, he will take care of it, will not use. Gold, jewelry, will keep. No money, will not use. That is vedi'ah. This is ariyat, ariyat to use. This was one of the questions I was asked in civil law after passing written exam. At the question, according to civil code of Turkey, what is ariyat? Explain me. Professor Kemal Osman, whose son is here in Texas Instrument, Ismail, in this area. So he asked me, so he got the answer. I got A from that. This is 50 years ago. Almost 50 years ago. Okay. Bir kimesine, broken translation, bir kimse, a person, hanesini diğer kimesine meremmet etmek, he gives his home, a person gives his home to someone else for meremmet, to repair, take care of, repair the house. Ve bila ücret sakin olmak üzere virsa. And that person will live in, settle in that house without any pay. So somebody is giving house to someone else, and that someone else will repair, will take care of the house, and will live in that house without any rent, money. If that happens, ve o dahi kendi tarafından meremmet ederek, that person by himself repairs the house from his pocket with his expense. Bir müddet sakin olsa, and he lives in that house for some times, ariyet kabilinden olmakla. This relation is ariyet status, in the status of ariyet. This is not rent, this is not repair agreement or something. This is ariyat. Like I am giving you this, you are borrowing from me this one to use. Benefit. Usus, using. Fructus, benefiting from fruit. Olmakla. Mesarifi tamiriye, because it is ariyat, masarif of ta'miriyya. Masarif, another word. Let me write here, masarif. Like masarif al-zakah. Masarif. Masraf. Sarafa. To spend. Masarif. Spending places. Masarif al-zakah. Zakah, where zakah is spendable too. Okay? Masarif ta'miriyya. Ta'mir, repair. Ta'mir. إنما يعمر مساجد الله. Ta'mir. Let me write here, ta'mir. تعمير, repair. تعمير. عمر. إنما يعمر مساجد الله. إعمار. تعمير. Repair. To build, to take care of the maintenance of the buildings, of the roads and everything. Okay. مصارف تعميرية. The expenses of repairing ol ki mesneye ait olur. Goes to that person, meaning the one who is living in, renting. Ta'mir, I mean whatever, because that was the condition. You live in and repair this house, so expenses, everything will be his. Relation is ariyat, olur. Now, وَصَاحِبِ خَانَ دَخِي. The owner of the house, andan ol müddet için ücret namına bir şey alamaz. Cannot get any rent type of money for that period from that person. Because it is ariyat. It is not renting. He is not responsible. Owner is not responsible for the expenses. That is what it is.
So there's no contract saying all of this. This is just verbal.
In Islam, verbal and written is the same. Yes. Contract could be sarih, clear, cut, blah, blah, blah. Could be zimni. Zimni, like implied, like meant. Could be verbal, could be written. In Islam, you look like that, it is written here. You say something, it is written here. It is already recorded. Don't worry. You will, someday it will be, you will see it is written. So, in worldly things, dunya, written, not written. Written, you can prove a little bit better, notarized better, witnessed better, but if you don't prove, cannot prove here, don't worry too much, leave it. Tomorrow somebody will prove for you. Be Muslim, good Muslim. So, yeah. English 481. If someone give, this is exactly what I am reading. If someone give, not gives. If someone give his house to another to do the repairs and live in it without rent. Of course, this is additional. Without rent is not said over there as ariyat. Okay. And he does the repairs by himself and occupies it for a time. by reason of its being a sort of loan for use, Ariat, the expense of the repairs falls on him, and the owner of the house cannot take anything from him for that time in the name of rent. I think good expressing the theme, but translation could have been better, I believe. I am reading once more. 481. If someone give his house to another to do the repairs and live in it without rent, and he does the repairs by himself and occupies it for a time, by reason of its being a sort of loan for use, Ariat, the expense of the repairs falls on him, and the owner of the house cannot take anything from him for that time in the name of rent. I think we will conclude at this point.